Now, the employment website Seek has reported an increase in the number of job ads placed last month.
Western Australia and Queensland led the way across the nation, not surprisingly. But for more of an insight, we're joined by Seek Managing Director Joe Powell. Thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
So can you take us through what the latest figures are telling us about the jobs market?
Sure. We saw a rebound in December. I mean, there's a lot of volatility at that time of the year, seasonal volatility, but a 3.4% increase in job ads was a really good performance. I think importantly, we look back over the year, the last sort of 12 months, where we saw some really good consistent growth up until May, and then we saw the markets take divergent paths. So Western Australia, Queensland really continued to kick on, whereas New South Wales and Victoria really started to soften. So we've seen that for the full 12 months. In fact, Western Australia was up by about 21% year on year, and Queensland about 13.5%. But we're about 2.2% up year on year nationally for the month of December.
So as a national figure, it's not too bad, and we see that the mining sector really is driving that jobs growth in those states when you look at the top professions that are in demand.
They are, yeah. Look, when we watch all the demand come through, we get to see the demand side being the number of job ads and the supply side being the number of applications come through. But on the demand side, you know, the last 3 months, without a doubt, it continues to be the mining sector, engineers, blast drillers, you know, you name those roles are still in very, very strong demand, and we'd expect that to continue on in the months ahead.
If you take those aside and put them to one side, those jobs that you just talked about, yeah. What do you make of employment in Australia at the moment?
Yeah, look, it's, as I said, it's really it's diverged over the last 6 months, and we've seen that softening in New South Wales and Victoria, the strength in WA and Queensland, and we probably expect that to continue. I mean, the unemployment rate, there's an expectation that will continue to tick up to sort of 5.6%. We'll watch that very, very closely. There's obviously volatility within the retail sector, which does seem to be struggling. That's the second biggest employer that we have behind the health industry. So, look, it's hard to get a read from December. January will be a bit the same. There's volatility there given the seasonality. February, March, I think we'll get a much better read on how the rest of the year looks.
In fact, some economists are predicting the unemployment rate could go as high as 6%. Do you think that's possible, that it could go up, 0.7% across the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, look, we don't put a forecast out there on the unemployment rate, but we watch the analysts. We look at the consensus out there, and I think that consensus is around 5.5%, 5.6%. So, and look at some of the commentary coming out of the banking sector at the moment, with an expectation that there'll be job cuts there. That's obviously going to put some pressure on the unemployment rate. But I think we'll get a better read in the next couple of months.
And discussions about the economy and forecasts for the year, things like the World Bank statement yesterday, does that impact on the job ads?
Yeah, look, I think it does. It impacts on confidence, and I think, when we don't have strong business confidence and we have an impact on consumer confidence, that has an impact on the economy, that has an impact on the jobs market. That's a key part of it. So, look, the market has been very resilient over the last 12 months. If you look back at what has happened globally, we've been very resilient here. So hopefully we can maintain that in the coming months ahead, but that volatility is not good for confidence, and that's not good for the economy.
Basically, if businesses aren't terribly optimistic about how the economy might look ahead, they're not really going to be putting on more staff, is the general equation. Yeah,
that can be it. They may not have the confidence to replace that person or put on that incremental person. Likewise with job seekers out there, they've got to have the confidence to want to move roles and take on new opportunities. So if there is that volatility and uncertainty there, that can weigh on that, the job seekers and the advertisers out there.
All right, Joe Powell from seek.com.au, thanks very much for taking us through the figures.
You're welcome.
Now let's have a quick